Hello and welcome to another episode of Gadgets and Gizmo. We are back. It's a show where we can talk about everything, but we restrict ourselves to only gadgets and gizmos. And just like always, this show is also jam-packed. So, come along. So the new Apple Watch has been launched in India. The base model is priced at around 34,000 rupees and it goes up till 8 lakh rupees. Well, the cool thing about these watches is that they tell you time, but they do lots of other things. The watch still looks the same. The operating system has been upgraded with a couple of new handy features as well. Here is our hitman Sahil Bones killing it with his review.
So you guys keep watching me review all these gadgets, all these phones, tablets and laptops, but there's one thing that you guys don't know about me. Even Gaurav doesn't know this about me. I'm a bit of a watch nut. I love wristwatches and you'll often find me wearing one. And I've actually spent a mini fortune on amassing a collection of wristwatches that I love. And I'll always wear them. But what happens to a techie like me when a little company from a galaxy not so far away sends this across? You know? Yes, this is the Apple Watch, which we have already reviewed on the show a couple of months ago, but this is different because this is the one which has been launched in India. It comes with this really snazzy Milanese loop and it is running watchOS 2, which is kind of a big deal. The big question that I want to answer is, will it make me stop using my own analog watches and switch over to this, considering I'm also an iPhone user? Yes? No? Let's find out. So Gaurav called me Hitman, and well, with the Apple Watch I am a bit like Hitman apart from having hair and not carrying dangerous weapons, because using the Apple Watch I can actually control my phone's camera and take photos remotely, which is really cool and a little creepy also at the same time. I get all my notifications on the wrist, so I'm not using my phone that often. I can reply to all the WhatsApp messages I'm getting using Siri, which now really detects the Indian accent, and I never miss mails, which is a really great thing because my boss really used to get irritated with me. And overall, this is a really nice thing to have because I'm also saving my phone's battery, which is kind of a big deal for me. Let's get down to serious business. The reason we are reviewing the Apple Watch at this time is because it's now running watchOS 2, which is kind of a big deal. watchOS 2 was announced back in June and it opens up a bevy of new features. For instance, a new feature that Apple is really touting is called third-party complications. Now, complications is a term that normally watchmakers use for their wristwatches. Basically, it means that you can really customize whatever you have in the watch face, remove it, add it, whatever you want, you can do it. It's totally customizable. Talking about customizations, Apple has also added a number of new watch faces which are really cool. You have some photo albums that double up as watch faces. You can have a completely digital futuristic look. You have the old Mickey Mouse watch face and you have got a couple of new cool watch faces which are really nice to have, and they really add color to the design of the Apple Watch because it really starts feeling like a really personal device. Another big feature is native app support. Native app support basically means that app developers can now write applications meant directly for the watch and not be dependent on the iPhone. Right now we haven't seen many of these apps, but in time we are sure to see them. Finally, the big feature of watchOS 2 is that now developers can access every bit of the Apple Watch. All the sensors are open to them. Right now, we haven't seen any apps that make use of all these new features of watchOS 2, but in time, we are sure to see them. At 30,000 rupees, the Apple Watch doesn't compete with all those Android smartwatches. Make no mistake, the Apple Watch is the best smartwatch for the iPhone, and it obviously exclusively works with the iPhone. But the bigger deal is that it competes with analog watches from companies like Tissot. If you look at this model, which has the Milanese loop, it competes with the watch like the Tissot T-Touch, which costs in excess of rupees 50,000. There's no doubt it's a really handsome looking watch. It's got the square dial, which a lot of people have criticized, but you have to realize that this watch was inspired by the iconic Cartier Santos, which also had a square dial. So overall, it's a really good looking watch, and this Milanese loop really works fantastically. And the magnet is really strong, and even a scrawny person like me can get a really good fit, which is really important for me because I struggle with the straps of watches. But the thing that I can't get over is that I need to charge it every second day. If you can live with that, then definitely you should go for it. But if you can't, then you should basically do what I'm going to do. Basically take it off, keep it gently aside, go into your pocket and grab for your old school analog watch. Namaste.
Now, earlier, anything above 5 inches would be called a phablet, and there were very few in that category. Now, all the smartphones are 5-inch plus, and Gionee, for a change, has decided to go with a 6-inch phablet. It's a big smartphone, big display, and some really good specs on the sheet. But how does it really fare? Here is our tech expert, who's been a veteran in this field for over 10 years, with his take on the phone.
This is the successor to the Gionee Elife E7, which was launched way back in 2013, and you are looking at the new Gionee Elife E8. It's big, it has the power, and it captures some great pictures. And yes, it costs around 35,000 rupees, actually 1 rupee less.
So I have realized that I haven't really reviewed a big smartphone, an expensive smartphone for a long time. And people had already started calling me a budget reviewer, which is in many ways true because I also live on a very tight budget. So this week I am going to review Gionee Elife E8. It's a 6-inch phablet, and my eyes have just gone used to it, and I've been using it, and I'm trying to figure out where am I going to put this phone, man.
Gionee Elife E8 is a big phone. You get a 6-inch Super AMOLED display with 2K resolution. The display has a little warm tone as compared to, say, a Galaxy S6. Also, it's a little less brighter than the Galaxy S6. But having said that, it's a bright display. The colors are punchy and vibrant, and the viewing angles are good. To hold the big screen together, there is a metal frame, while the rest of the body is made up of premium plastic. These days, you unlock the phone using a fingerprint scanner, and the fingerprint scanner on the E8 is pretty accurate. Hold the big phone in one hand and use the other to use it, because that's how you do it. Gionee has this time gone for the MediaTek processor. Powering the phone is an octa-core 2.0 GHz Helio X10 CPU along with 3 GB of RAM. It's the same processor that powers the much expensive HTC One M8. It's a powerful combination that will take care of your regular tasks like web surfing, video streaming, apps and game playing. Multitasking with 10 to 15 apps open shouldn't be a problem. Played games for a long time and didn't face any frame drop or any heating issues as such.
So you get 64 GB of internal storage, which is good, and you can expand it to up to 128 GB via micro SD card slot, which is awesome. Because of course, with this big a phone and a bright display, you would want to watch videos and you would want to watch movies and you would want to save them. Frankly speaking, I've just been watching videos and playing game on this phone. I don't know what else to do.
Amigo 3.0 is Gionee's custom UI on top of Android 5.1 Lollipop. It's a neat and clean UI with some customization like no app drawer, notification drawer is from bottom to top, and some more. There are many handy pre-installed apps from Gionee that you can use. The camera is the highlight of the E8. You get a 24MP camera with dual-tone LED flash. So besides the big pixels, you also get a couple of nifty features as well, like lossless zoom, where you zoom in by 4x without getting any blurs. Also, you can focus fast, so point and shoot. The image quality is impressive indeed under sunlight, and it's not that bad for low-light photography as well. And talking about the front 8MP camera, well, it does a good job with those selfies.
Alright, time to close all the unnecessary apps. They put a lot of stress on the battery. So yes, with all those apps running, web surfing, video watching, listening to music, clicking pictures, the battery is about 50%. So I think it will just about last you the day. 3500 mAh battery is what you get inside this. So the reason you'll buy this phone is because it's big, it's got a good display, you would want to watch videos, the performance is nice, camera is also good enough. And the competition is the Samsung Galaxy A8. You have the Moto X Style, which is pretty good. You also have the LG G4 and the HTC One M8. And yeah, so the competition is quite big and lots of good phones out there. So I'm sure it's pretty confusing for you. So we should do a comparison real soon, right? We will. When the mind is without fear and the head is held high, I'm sure that's a nice feeling. I'm yet to experience it. But one way I like to start my days by listening to some great music in my car. And there's lots of music that's there in my smartphone. I connected via an auxiliary cable, but of course, we need a good infotainment system that is smart enough like your smartphone. Apple CarPlay is here in the new Baleno, and here is Shivan playing it out with Siri.
The infotainment systems in all cars are about to get a major revamping, or they might just get completely obsolete with what I'm going to show you next. I'm Shivan Channa and I'm going to show you Apple's CarPlay. Now, this is a device which was launched way back by Apple in March 2014 in Geneva, and it's finally made its way to the Indian masses with Maruti Suzuki's all-new Baleno. So you're all settled in your car, seatbelt in, switch on the car first, and once your system is on, you take your wire, you plug it in, and just wait. The phone recognizes the vehicle recognizes the phone, and there you have your phone's interface projected on your dashboard. So if you take a look here, all you need to do is once the device has been read, click, there you go. I love the screen, you know. Why? Because it's not too cluttered, it's not too technical, it's not too detailed. It's very, very simple, it's easy to understand. The buttons are spaced out, the icons are big and large. So let's get on with the drive and let's see how it functions when you're on the wheel. If you can't take your eyes off the road at all, you're turning, you're in a difficult situation, you're in a lot of traffic, all you need to do is there's a button which the Baleno offers right underneath the steering wheel. Just long press it. Call Sandeep Sharma.
Calling Sandeep Sharma.
And that's simple. Now if you go back, again this is the home button. Click on it and you're back on your home screen. Now it only offers as much as you need while driving. It does not offer you movies, it does not offer you videos, because clearly you do not need to be watching videos when you're driving. You need to focus on the road. So the next one, it offers music. You can't drive without music. Most of us can't. Again, whom do you go to? You go to Siri. Play something by Audio Slave.
Okay, Audio Slave coming up.
So now say if someone sends you a message and you're listening to a song, what do you do? Okay. There's a message right there.
You have a message from Himanshu in Today Cameraman. It says, "Hi Shivan, how's the new device? Want to reply?"
Yes, I want to reply.
Okay, what do you want to say to Himanshu in Today Cameraman?
Hi Himanshu, I think the device is doing pretty well till now, and I hope you get to test it very soon.
Your message to Himanshu in Today Cameraman says, Hi Marshall, I think the device is doing pretty well till now and I will be getting tested very soon. Ready to send it?
Yeah, okay. I think he'll understand what I'm saying. So if you didn't notice, I said Himanshu, and what Siri understood was Marshall. You know, so that's a drawback here because I don't think this Apple product understands regional languages. It only takes in English. And I think that's something they must introduce if they want to make it into the Indian market in totality. The only thing which I feel it's majorly lacking right now is maps. And that's something which I feel the CarPlay majorly lacks in India. Siri experience, the Apple experience, CarPlay is definitely something which is far ahead. And I'm sure it's going to make a lot of other things redundant very soon. So that was Apple's CarPlay in a nutshell for you. What it basically does is it takes the most frequently used features of your iPhone and places them straight on your dashboard for a safer experience for the driver as well as the passenger. I think if a car of this segment has already introduced this, the other cars need to buck up their game. But I know it's definitely going to be a game changer in that aspect.
Well, most of us rely on our smartphones to remember most of the things, and I forget to carry my smartphone most of the time. What does that say? Take a look.
Soma is a first-person adventure game with a heavy emphasis on horror. Well, to be accurate, it relies on the brand of horror popularized by Japanese horror films.
You know what sucks about dying?
If you've seen The Ring or The Grudge, then you will have a fair idea of the kind of creepy, dread-filled atmosphere that these movies aim for.
You guys, everything. He's made my life so much more real.
It's more about what you can't see than what you can that drives the scares.
What happened?
Thankfully, there are no long-haired creepy women and little boys to be found here though. Fictional games were known for amnesia, the dark descent before this game, and it's no surprise they nailed the atmosphere. Much of it is driven by the excellent sound design. Things creak, crawl, and try their best to creep the hell out of you, and boy, do they succeed. Like Amnesia, Soma mixes the adventure genre with light puzzles and stealth section to keep things fresh. Without spoiling anything, the game also sees it fit to throw some truly heavy moral choices which are sprinkled throughout the experience. Like Amnesia, you don't have any means to fight enemies you encounter. You'll either be running away or avoiding confrontations when you can. The game is a bit on the easy side though. Average players will be able to breeze through the game without dying or having to restart too often. While that may put some players off, especially ones that are looking for a challenge, but on the flip side, it gives the game a nice momentum. There aren't too many lulls or drab periods where you will feel that there is nothing happening.
Wasted.
The puzzles mostly involve trying to find ways to progress to the next area and aren't too difficult to figure out. The game looks pretty good. The environments work with sound design to create a moody, foreboding sense of dread that will have you sufficiently spooked. There are a few problems though. We reviewed this game on a PC and suffered through long load times pretty consistently. There also seems to be random frame rate drops without the game, which are a headache. On more than one occasion, with nothing intense happening on screen, the frame rate just dips for no reason. Thankfully, these problems fade away when you are immersed in the world of Soma. If you liked Amnesia or Bioshock, you will love Soma.
Alright, with that, it's a wrap. Thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed watching the episode. And we'll be back next week with more of gadgets and gizmos, and also that thing on which Shivan is trying to balance himself. It's very important to have balance, otherwise you fall. Am I right? Yeah.